suffer injuries. John Metchie debuts. EJ has a story about his commute that he won't tell me until the show starts. Let's do it all next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast, live from the Xfinity studio and presented by Doodad Dental and Truemark Financial Credit Union. In addition to Xfinity, Bo Wulf, EJ Smith here after the Eagles' penultimate practice of training camp. EJ, you know what? We go for so long, it's like, okay, maybe training camp would be nice for it to end. But when we have a day like today and yesterday, I'm happy to be out there for a while.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet feeling for sure. I usually get really excited for the start of training camp. I have been on record before saying that training camp is actually my favorite time of the year.
Sure, even we get to see ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Being able to watch football practice is very fun. But I find myself ready for the regular season at this point. Not that I'm complaining about training camp, but just excited. Sure. Both for the action and also really for the routine that comes with a new season.
But so many games this year that are on a Thursday or a Monday or even a Saturday and a Friday.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Isn't that what Jalen Hurts would tell us? With
lamp is never full.
The lamp is never full. So, yeah, I mean, listen, it's good to be covering a team that's got a lot of primetime games, even if it does mean that our sleep schedules will suffer.
Well, and it is fun to. I mean, right now our focus is so much on the bottom of the roster and the middle of the roster. And, we are a week away from the cusp of the 53. By next Wednesday, 8 days from now, all of our focus will be on, the top 25 players on the roster. And we won't even be thinking about some of these players.
Oh, we'll still be thinking about them.
I mean, I will be.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the chat will be talking about them quite as much.
Yeah.
All right. So it was an interesting practice today. And we will get to it in a second. John Metchie debuted for the Eagles. There were a couple injuries during the middle of practice, and then there were a long list of players who were left out of practice today. Why don't you take us through who those were, EJ, if you have it in front of you?
Yes, I do. So A.J. Brown still out with a hamstring injury. And Landon Dickerson still out with the meniscus injury. Let's do the new injuries, though. Jordan Mailata missed practice with a concussion. Tanner McKee.
There's a play yesterday where it felt like he got dinged up a little bit. I wonder if that was one of.
I don't know if I caught that one where
he was like bending over, and it looked like Lane Johnson came over to him,
went and checked on him.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like Jordan's been dealing with something
for sure
all summer. So
and he acknowledged that.
Yeah, I think it was time for him to.
I was waiting for him to get a rest day. Period. I didn't. I didn't want it to happen at the expense of a concussion.
Yeah, I almost wondered if it was just a rest day at first,
until they listed that. Yes,
the concussion was a part of the injury report. Tanner McKee was out with a finger injury, presumably on his throwing hand, and DeVonta Smith was out with a groin injury. Dallas Goedert also limited with a groin injury, so he was not a part of the team. So realistically, it's funny. You just said we're going to talk about the top 25 guys on the roster. Not a lot of them were out there on offense today. We saw a lot of, the left side of the offensive line was Matt Pryor.
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, the Pryor thing is definitely interesting. But just in general, they were missing a lot of the key figures of the offense. So, I think the listeners should remember that when we talk about how they looked offensively today, because they really were missing maybe 4 or 5 of, it's tough to say the most important players, but some of the most important players on offense for sure.
Yeah, I think you said something like, I guess we learned that if the offense is without AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith and Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson and Jordan Mailata, they might not be in such good shape.
Yeah.
Probably fair.
Yeah.
What did you make of Matt Pryor? So, they have Kendall Lamb, who's been the second team left tackle all summer, essentially. And today, the first day where Mailata's not practicing, it's not Kendall Lamb. He's instead working as the second team right tackle. It's Matt Pryor with the ones at left tackle.
Yeah, it definitely speaks to Matt Pryor probably being the first guy off the bench at the start of the season at multiple spots. Maybe not left guard, but I don't know. I even wonder if the left guard thing would have happened if they didn't have him at a different spot. So yeah, I would definitely say the Eagles' offensive line lack of or depth or lack thereof. The fifth or the sixth, seventh, and eighth guy, it's less confidence inspiring than it has been in years past. They don't have that Fred Johnson or you go down the list of the swing tackles that they usually have. They don't really have that one guy this year. Matt Pryor, I think, kind of is going to be the stand-in. Again, first guy off the bench at a few different spots.
I think it's between him and Kennard, and I'm trying to find out what the full lineup was here.
I think I have it here too.
Yeah. So Kennard was not the first right tackle.
No, so it was
Lane, right?
Correct.
Lane was
yes.
not there.
And then when Lane went out, I think he was just probably pitch count. It was Kendall Lamb at the other tackle spot.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you that Kennard is probably the first guy up at maybe. I mean, one of the guard spots.
But I don't know.
Probably the right side. You feel better about Kennard being the first guy up, but I mean, again, the fact
to your point, we used to know.
Yeah,
it was the first guy up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's just like those three guys are probably as like shaky as they have been in the last 3, 4, 5 seasons.
So.
Yeah, so I hate to be alarmist here, but honestly, if you asked me going into training camp, I probably wouldn't have said that it was a major concern of mine. And I still wouldn't call it a major concern, but it at least is on the list of outcomes, like, okay, what could tank the Eagles season? That 3 or 4 man depth offensive line pairings, like those guys, that is like on the list now. Is like, if you are rolling out an offensive line that has Matt Pryor at left tackle, and Brett Toth or Darian Kennard at left guard. Obviously, we think Landon Dickerson will be back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at a group that is that depleted and using that many of those depth options, that your strength becomes one of your major weaknesses.
And it also goes hand in hand with, we expect some regression on defense.
Yeah.
Right? We are all worried about cornerback 2. How reliable will the other safety be? Is the pass rush going to be deep enough? All of that stuff is sort of baked in, and maybe this will be a top 10 defense, or maybe in like the 5th best defense in football, and not the best defense in football. And what's going to make up for that is hopefully the offense being better than it was last season. But if the offensive line is not as good as it needs to be, then you don't make up for that, and all of a sudden you're just sort of an average team.
Right. Yeah, and we've heard Howie Roseman talk before about the bad years that they've had. They've had bad offensive lines, or they haven't had enough depth at those positions. So, and the trickiest part about it is like, not to foreshadow too much what we're doing later in the show, but looking through other teams' rosters for depth offensive linemen is a really difficult exercise. It is hard to find, even like, it kind of helps me understand a little bit more how the Kenyon Green thing happens, because it's like, you don't find very many guys with draft pedigree, with, the traits to be starters or, to develop into starters on other teams' like depth charts. You don't find those guys 7th and 8th on the other team's depth charts because the Eagles value that position so much. It is kind of like their depth actually probably it helps explain why their depth is usually so good. But yeah, no, I think it's not high on my list of like potential catastrophic outcomes, but it's climbing that list, I would say.
Okay, let's get to the 2 injuries from today's practice that happened in the middle of practice, starting with Drew Mukuba, and this happened before team drills, so we don't know who was supposed to be with the ones today between him and Sidney Brown, but what happened there? Yeah,
so it was during a one-on-one rep against Nick Muse. He kind of came up, I mean, you can call it gimpy, whatever you want to call it. He came up kind of grabbing at his left hamstring, did not seem comfortable. He tried to go through special teams drills. It kind of seemed like one of those deals where it's like, I am going to do everything I can to not go back on the injury report. Went through one special teams drill, did not look right when he went through it. And then head of medical stuff. But
what a hunk.
I should have looked up his title before. But yeah, he walked over to Tom Hunkley, one of the Eagles trainers, and said, something's wrong with the hamstring. They went to the medical tent, and I didn't see him go inside, but Dave Zangaro said that he went inside, and I trust Dave on that one.
Yeah, he's got good eyes.
Yeah, so
we had a little eye off today.
Yeah, I'm regretfully I can regretfully inform our listeners that Bo beat me in an eye off today.
Yeah, baby.
I thought my vision was perfect.
You were really touting your vision.
I mean, I've got 20/20 vision, and you have 20/15 vision, as I learned today.
No big deal.
I mean, it was the thing you read, I think you guessed. I think you were.
No,
you
I
were
read
using
it.
context clues.
I mean, I once I saw it, I realized that I'd seen it before. But we're on the far side, and then they're doing one drill here on this field. One offense versus two defense, and then on the other field, it's going to be two offense versus one defense. And we're like, okay, who's going to watch the far field? Who's got better eyes? And you didn't even think it was a question. You think I'm so washed that there's no way I could have better eyes than you.
That's not true.
So we tested on the ads.
I was being a pushover millennial about the whole
and
thing. And I was like, whatever you want to do. And you said, oh, no, I want whatever you want is fine. I'll defer to you. And I'm like, I'm not going to defer.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you
Let's have an eye off.
So yeah, we had an eye off. We tried to read some ads on the far side of the NovaCare complex.
The little text at the bottom.
The tiny tagline.
Premium meats, artisan cheeses. No big deal.
And I got cooked on the first one we tied, but then I got cooked on the second one.
I'm sorry.
I think you use context clues. We're gonna have, this is to be continued. I'm not ready to let this one go yet.
Okay. And then Johnny Wilson gets hurt. What happened there?
Yeah, that one was just like, it almost looked like a busted play or something where he kind of got tangled up with some offensive linemen. And yeah, I was wondering if anybody was going to come up from that pile with an injury, and Johnny Wilson turned out to be the one. I don't know if it was an ankle or if it was a knee. I'm not really sure what it was, but he couldn't put much weight on his left leg. He did get off to the sideline, like very gingerly, like again, like kind of just hopping on one leg. And then the cart came out for him when he left the medical tent. Yeah, which is not a good sign for
because they're right next to the building,
Right. Yeah, they didn't want him to take those 25, 30 steps to get inside. So yeah definitely. Just an injury-filled day. It's kind of a sloppy way.
I mean, it has been a relatively fortunate camp. Injury-wise, for
relatively
them.
nothing major to major contributors. I mean, Landon Dickerson. Hopefully, they are expecting him back for week 1. They don't have that like catastrophic one. So yeah, no, it definitely seemed like they were piling up, and I think it is like noteworthy that I think some of this stuff is precautionary, like Dallas Goedert groin injury, DeVonta groin injury. I don't think that those are like jeopardy for week 1 types of injuries. And even Tanner McKee, I don't think that that's a long-term thing. My understanding is it's not going to require surgery. So, these are maybe like the types of injuries you expect toward the end of camp, but they all kind of came all at once today.
And to me, the biggest repercussion of a Johnny Wilson injury, if this is significant, would be that maybe the future is bright for John Metchie. That's right. It's the Future is Bright segment presented by Shady Rays. We saw John Metchie in an Eagles uniform for the first time today. EJ, talk to him after practice. What did you learn? What did you think?
Yeah, he's definitely got that Alabama vibe to him. He's pretty, he's succinct in his answers, but
but thoughtful too.
Yeah, no, he was definitely but I think that some of the Alabama guys are thoughtful. I don't think that they aren't trying to answer your question. They're just very brief. Like you asked him what he brought from Houston, and he literally
I should have
said,
followed up. That was, I didn't monopolize the press.
I think you were probably taken aback by you asked, "What did you bring from Houston?" And he looked at you and a suitcase. And just moved right on from that. I found it interesting, some of the things he had to say about the perspective that he has on life. He obviously went through, tore his ACL, had a bout with leukemia that he seemingly has made it, back from. So, he definitely has had a lot of adversity early in his career. And I thought it was interesting to hear him talk about, a lot of times when you hear players talk about like the controllable things, like control what you can control, it feels like a cliche, but for a guy who's been through as much as him, I actually did find that very interesting.
I think so.
Yeah, I can't imagine going through some of the stuff that he's gone through. So, but in general, him as a player, he talked about how he wasn't surprised that he got traded from Houston, which I think is probably just reading the tea leaves, reading the writing on the wall with that. But generally, I thought he looked decent today, especially with all the injuries at receiver. He got a lot of run with the starters and with the second team offense. And, usually you see those guys kind of get eased in. He did not really have that luxury.
Didn't really have a chance. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he looked, I'd say he looked reasonably he didn't look out of place at the very least. No. He didn't look like somebody.
And we should say that he was still behind, in this case, Darius Cooper.
And
Anaya Smith.
Darius Cooper got a lot of run today.
Yeah. And it started with Johnny Wilson. Like he didn't just leapfrog those guys.
Sure. But
he does
at some point they were like, well, we don't have anybody else, so get in there.
I will say, in talking to him as an appreciator of accents, he was born in Taiwan. His father's Nigerian. He lived in Ghana. He lived in Canada. It was very interesting to try to pull out what is what in there.
Yeah.
A really interesting mix.
Yeah, that is. I hadn't considered his accent too much. I was trying to keep
There's a
up
little bit,
with,
yeah.
like,
There's a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't pick
Very
up the
cool.
accent. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Okay.
Listen for that next time.
Do you think he is safely on the team?
I mean, Johnny Wilson getting hurt is
Yeah, I mean,
a big development.
especially if it's significant.
Yeah, especially because he can be that dirty work guy. I mean, I don't think that the compensation to get him makes him a lock to be on the 53. I don't think like trading Harrison Bryant and swapping a 6 for a 5th
Right.
is really warrant like that's not enough to lock him in, but especially with Johnny Wilson being out, I just think that there is just a real world where like he is just their 4th best receiver come week 1. That might not be saying a whole lot, and I know that we are both fans of Darius Cooper and we think that he might be
Well, he's the 3rd best.
John Dotson eraser here.
Erasure. It's no shade against Jahan Dotson. He's just no Darius Cooper.
You know, John Dotson might be driving home from the facility.
I just said he's a good player.
Podcast.
It's not his fault they have another player who's better.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, I would say that there's just a chance that he is a more capable 4th receiver on game day, especially in week 1.
Well, especially if there is no Johnny Wilson.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He can do the dirty work.
He can do the dirty work. He can do the like some of the dirty work that Johnny Wilson does, but he has more conventional upside as a receiver within the framework of what the Eagles do offensively. Like Johnny Wilson, he can be this jump ball specialist that we've seen in the summer, but like, is that really that valuable in like an actual game situation? Are you really going to be just like we complained about the Anaya Smith bubble screen with Jahan Dotson and DeVonta Smith blocking? Like, can we really envision a world where it's 3rd and 8 and you're throwing it up to Johnny Wilson? You know, right. I think that there is a chance that John Metchie can do more of the conventional stuff better than Johnny Wilson while also being able to fulfill some of that dirty work. So I probably will have him on my 53 for that reason. But I don't know. You could tell me a lot of the different things could happen at wide receiver, and I'd believe you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting cut down day. But that'll do it for the Shady Rays Future is Bright segment for John Metchie. What were your other big takeaways from today's practice, EJ?
You know, I mentioned it earlier. I think if the Eagles offense is without that many starters, we have to have a real conversation about what things are going to look like. There were a lot of dump off passes to Will Shipley and AJ Dillon today. I think that Will Shipley like has had a very solid summer, and like
I think so.
You know, I think that I don't want to just like completely poo-poo the idea that like he's been getting a lot of targets. He got a lot of targets today, and it's a bad thing for the offense, but definitely wasn't like a dynamic day for the Eagles offense.
No. Yeah, well, I mean, no, they did a little bit of backed up.
Yeah.
And we should say just in the as the cornerback rotation turns, this was another Adoree Jackson day. There was a little bit of Jacorian Bennett sprinkled in, but I think Adoree probably got something like 85% of the first team reps when they were in nickel. Now he did come off the field in base again, and it was Cooper DeJean on the outside. But Keely Ringo seems to now that it's been a couple days in a row, he is definitely falling behind.
Yeah, I definitely think we're seeing Keely Ringo kind of fade from this competition. I am still not buying this Adoree Jackson as the week 1 starter. Yeah. I mean, he got beat by Ife Adeyi in one-on-ones today. And again, maybe Ife Adeyi is driving home right now listening to this podcast. So I apologize for pointing out the lowest moment of his practice. But this guy was tripping over the bags in individual drills. And then
Who are you to doubt Ife Adeyi?
He goes out in the one-on-one drills and just cooks Adoree Jackson. So couldn't beat the bag, but he could beat Adoree Jackson in the one-on-ones.
And then Adoree did give up that when they did that backed up period, he did give up a pair of slants right in front of him. Yeah. One to Darius Cooper, one to Jahan Dotson that gave up the first down, lost the series for the defense. He's not, save the Adeyi one-on-one, he is not getting beat deep in team.
Yeah, it's not catastrophic. Yeah.
And he does seem willing to be physical, but there's not a ton of upside there.
Right. And I think it's really what stands out is like you have a few options that do have that upside, that upward mobility to give you good play by the midpoint of the season. I'm just not buying it with him. I think Jacorian Bennett is probably the one at this point that I'm kind of keeping my eye out for. I still think Mac McWilliams could sneak in there, but yeah, I think Keely Ringo is kind of in the background at this point.
Okay. All right, we have more to tell you about from practice today, including something that drove me absolutely insane. I will tell you about that on the other side after a word from our sponsors. Xfinity. We've got the Xfinity studio that we're in. They're presenting sponsors of the show, and they are the best place for you to run your internet. Life is unpredictable, but the price of your internet shouldn't be. Get a reliable price for a reliable connection. All in means all in. You get Wi-Fi equipment and unlimited data included. You also get the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. One internet price for 5 years, no guarantee. You lock it in. You don't need to be worrying about, prices rising. No. Xfinity, they know that stability matters. Change is always happening. Rules are rewritten. Records are broken. Athletes come and go. But no matter what changes in 5 years, the price of your internet will stay the same. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change.
Next, we're going to talk about Parx Casino. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. Check out brand new casino games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, a BetParx exclusive. The only app I ever used to play all my favorite casino games in the palm of my hand. Play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra online slots. Play hot online slots based on your favorite streaming shows: Walking Dead, Squid Games, Breaking Bad, and Peaky Blinders, and all your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. New users get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play, you love to win. You bet BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right. I'm trying to come up with a trade for all.
Sarah, you writing trades
all
during
31 teams.
Wow.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left.
Who are the teams you don't have?
Chargers, Commanders, Bears, and then I just made my way to the NFC West. So Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks.
Oh, you're never gonna make it. I can buy you some time by telling you my commute story.
Well, I want to pay attention. I'm an active listener.
All right. Well,
let's hear your commute story.
I appreciate that. It's not a huge thing, but I was excited. I mean, I am excited to report.
Okay.
Today is the first day I made it to the office without directions.
Okay.
Without any help from anybody getting to the 7th floor. Again, the 7th floor. I open the door myself. This was a big step for me.
Okay.
No
so
directions.
Show 7.
Yeah, but come on. How many times do you drive a place before you stop putting directions on?
I mean, if I drove there yesterday, 1.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. You gotta flex on yourself. You gotta prove to yourself that you can do it.
No, you need the directions to really learn the route.
No.
This is it's my 7th show. I'm glad you're counting. I haven't been counting that.
Well, I know you. It's Tuesday. You started last Monday.
All right. Oh, you're so good at math. I feel like
can add.
Today was
Unfortunately, cannot win in softball.
Today was my first. We need to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Today was my first day without the directions, and honestly, I missed a turn, so I still didn't get it perfect. But no, honestly, I could go a whole month driving somewhere without actually. Because here's the thing: if you use the directions each time, you're not really learning how to drive there.
Correct.
In my opinion. It's the first day you don't use the directions that you truly learn.
Yeah.
So this was my first day. I made a wrong turn, but I got there.
Okay.
And
did you figure it out after you made the wrong turn? Did you figure it out yourself, or did you then have to plug it in?
Oh no, I figured it out.
Okay.
I was really close to the office by the time I made the wrong turn.
Okay.
So, listen, I'm taking that as a win.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty pumped up about that.
Okay. Were there days where you made it here and then you still couldn't get up to the 7th floor?
No, I've ironed out my getting in and using the elevator. I figured that out midway through last week.
Okay.
But today, the drive, like I said,
you're still meeting new people you haven't met.
Yeah,
coworkers.
I just pretend that every single person is the most important person that I could ever meet.
Well, so now you're telling them they're not.
Well, I mean, I just I treat everybody that way. There can only be one, but yeah, no, I'm
Who's
not
like, who would you say is the 6th most important person in your life?
in my life. I shouldn't answer this. I'm just gonna get myself in trouble.
I mean, it could be someone who's flattered to be up that high, or it could be somebody who's disappointed they're that low.
I mean, like, you're not like worlds away from it.
All right.
I spend a lot of time around you, but I wouldn't call you 6. Like, maybe like
I would be disappointed in you if I was 6th.
well, I mean, the amount of time we spend together there.
Sure. That's different,
it's
though.
got some potential to be high, but
Yeah.
I'd say probably the top 10 is mostly family and like best friends.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah, you never know. Okay. I mean, I don't see my best friends as much as I see you.
Yeah, but this is not a volume game. But I guess important. It's an important relationship.
If you were like a miserable person, it would be pretty important in my life. Like, you'd just be dragging me.
I got bad news for you. What did our dear friend, the extremely talented producer Cliffy 2, have to say about you holding his romantic?
He didn't have an issue with that. He had an issue with the form in which I've thrown the oop, as he calls it. Now, I told Cliff, I've been out this game for a long time, so I'm not really up on, like, did I need to do research before I tried to set this up? Yeah. Like, I didn't have a social media handle ready for him. But
yeah. Once you bring it to him, he's got to be able to, do his own research.
Yeah, right. I want him to do the research. Okay. I'm not in the game of telling him what he should or shouldn't be interested in. So
he wasn't feeling some kind of way about you holding that.
No,
keeping it to yourself for over a month.
No, I think he enjoyed the whole thing. Okay. He messaged me about something else yesterday. Some of his friends are like, do we need to be aware of this EJ Cliff beef? And I'm like, this maybe is going too far. Like, if your friends are checking in to make sure, like, EJ isn't getting under your skin. So, but no, it's all in good fun. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Cliffy 2 dates. There's a chance here. I think that there's potential here.
All right, Cliff, we love you. We got an open chair over here whenever you're ready. Okay.
I've got another big takeaway for you.
Okay, give me your takeaway. And then I will tell you after that what I'm going to say was the big deal.
Okay. I need to get this out of the way because I don't want you to shape the narrative here.
Uh-oh.
I think the quarterback 3 competition is over.
Oh, I mean.
And I need
it's been over.
I need it to be on record.
Oh, please.
That the Dorian Thompson
there's no digging out of this
attribution onto me, acting like I was the number one Dorian Thompson Robinson fan in the city. I will not stand for it.
Oh my gosh. This is outrageous.
Listen, here is
you can't erase that.
Here is what I said
and from your take history.
And here is what is happening. Dorian Thompson Robinson needed to outplay Kyle McCord overwhelmingly for the duration of the summer to have a claim on that third quarterback spot because of all the things we talked about. Kyle McCord on a rookie contract, theoretical upside in the fact that he is new to the league. And like, even if it didn't look good, you could talk yourself into him eventually developing into maybe not I feel like the Tanner McKee thing is kind of, that is such a high range of outcome for any day 3 quarterback. But like, even if you see a world where Kyle McCord could develop into a competent backup, you'd want to keep him around. I do still believe that if Dorian Thompson Robinson outplayed Kyle McCord throughout the summer, it would have made sense for him to be the third quarterback. That is not happening. This is Dorian Thompson Robinson.
You said that he was.
He was
a week ago.
Kyle McCord during that time.
Come on. You said it wasn't even close.
He's taken
it was like your number one takeaway from practice a couple of days in a row. Like, duh, DTR is cooking.
I mean, he had a few good practices, and he outplayed Kyle McCord overwhelmingly, which was fitting the criteria to most eyes. Come on, that's true. You know that he played better than him for about a week. He has regressed.
I will tell you what. Here's one thing the only thing that I will say to defend you here. Fran, I know you're watching. You were on EJ's side on this. So you own this with EJ. Both of you. Get in there.
I mean, listen, and I'm going to sound like my predecessor here. If I'm on the side with Fran, then that means I'm on the right side.
Not all the time.
Oh, no.
Not all the time.
I saw Fran's...
Not when it comes to Nate Peterman.
I saw Fran's preseason notes for the first time.
What a treat, huh?
Oh, my goodness, that guy.
Yeah.
He sees the game. I've used this cliche before, but he sees the game in like Ultra HD 4K, and we're all just watching in like 720p.
That's about right.
He's a savant. Anyway, so really we should inform the listeners on why I'm putting the QB3 thing to bed. Kyle McCord, with Tanner McKee out, Kyle McCord got all of the second team snaps. It really wasn't a very third team heavy day. I don't know if it was because of the injuries or if because they had the developmental period at the end of practice.
And those guys are all going to play the whole game on Friday.
Right. I think it might also just be like they don't have as much of a third team because there are so many guys out.
That's true.
But it was a heavy day for the ones and the twos, and Kyle McCord was with the twos for the first time this summer with Tanner McKee out. And honestly, I didn't think he looked bad. You know, I mean, he still has his moments.
No. He was picked off a couple times in the far field when I was watching that field.
All right. I'll let the
Zach Bond. It went right through Zach Bond's hands into Cooper DeJean's hands.
Ooh,
and then Tristan McCollum had a pick when it was twos versus twos. So he wasn't perfect protecting the ball. But I do think he's looking better in terms of willing to make some second level throws.
Yeah, I would say like operationally, he looks more comfortable right now.
I agree with that.
I still am skeptical about whether or not he can follow the Tanner McKee path, not just in terms of like, can he be that good, but can he be like the backup quarterback on a rookie contract?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he'll get there. But I do think that he's shown enough progress, and really Dorian Thompson-Robinson has regressed enough where I think that the competition is over.
Okay. Yeah, that does not erase it from your record.
But. Oh, listen, I will stand by that. I said Dorian Thompson-Robinson was performing better than Kyle McCord for a stretch during training camp.
You said he should be a starting quarterback.
I never said that.
What did you make of the Colts? What did you make of the Colts decision today?
Oh, it's terrible. It's so bad.
So bad.
Isn't it? Like Jimmy Kempski was trying to talk me into like Daniel Jones having a breakout season.
Well, Jimmy likes the idea of wouldn't it be great for us if the Giants had this happen again after
it would be
Saquon
great for content. It would be funny. For sure. And maybe.
And there's a good chance that he has his best season. I think that's fair.
But you know me to be a traits guy at quarterback. So you know I love Anthony Richardson.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, no one had ever entered the league the same way as Anthony Richardson did with that little experience and those physical tools that had never been matched. This was very clearly someone who, if you are going to draft, is going to need a lot of development, and the full thrust of the organization all pointed towards that. And it is crazy how wishy-washy and feckless they have been in trying to develop him. It's crazy. I mean, it's insane. It's not even like this was a different regime. Like, this is the same regime that drafted him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's like that is the type of guy that needs starts. He needs really like
that if you're not willing to give him 3 years.
Right. He needs that like Bryce Young track where it's like we're gonna let him fail, and if we need to pull him back for a few games, we'll do that. But like this is his job. And yeah, he needed a runway. And like I'm disappointed again as a guy who like I wouldn't want my team to draft a quarterback that has a ceiling in the day he walks into the building. And Anthony Richardson has the traits that he wouldn't have that ceiling. The fact that they weren't going to stand by him definitely was disappointing for me. But I mean, the Daniel Jones thing will be interesting at the very least. Like, I think that there is like maybe like a middle of the road quarterback there, and like they have some talent on offense. So I don't know. I'm intrigued by that team, but I would have been more intrigued if Anthony Richardson was under center.
I agree.
Behind center. I've been trying to stop saying under center. You know, most teams don't have a lot of under center.
That's true.
Eagles had an under center run today.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Yeah. I'm like always noting it I always literally write down like under center exclamation point, and it's like never.
Do you write under center or do you write UC?
Oh, under center.
Oh,
you write UC?
Yeah.
No, I write under center.
I mean, who's got time to write 11 letters?
My note taking is not the most efficient, but I usually can figure out what I was trying to.
That's probably better in the long run. I mean, I'm flipping through my notes and can barely.
You have a better memory than I do.
I like to think I have a better memory.
No, you definitely do. Like, you know, I was also trying to put together some trades, and like, I'm like, oh man, I really didn't like go through this as much as I should have, and you're just like reeling it off. So,
well, I don't think that's memory, but anyway. All right, I'm going to tell you what is the big deal. The big deal presented by Cherry Hill Mitsubishi. And this happened late in practice. The Eagles were doing situations. Sirianni calls it out. It's ones versus ones. And here's the situation. The Eagles are down 2 points. The offense is down 2 points. There are 25 seconds left. They are at the 50-yard line, and they have no timeouts, okay? So they got to get, realistically, you want to get about 20 yards. You got to play the clock. And you got to do it efficiently. And on the first play from scrimmage, Jalen Hurts throws a slant to, I believe, Grant Calcaterra. So now they're at the 44. You're not in field goal range. It's 2nd and 4, and they rush to the line. And you were right next to me, EJ, and I'm saying, don't spike it, 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 run a play. And instead they spike it. They waste a down. And then on 3rd down, they throw an incomplete pass. And guess what? Now it's 4th and 4. And you need to go for it because you can't hit that field goal. You could have thrown the exact same pass quickly on 2nd down and then lived to fight another day. What are we doing? The Eagles do this all the time. They waste these spikes. This is the preseason. This is training camp. This is the time to get it right. Stop doing things wrong now.
Well done. I turned to him after this happened, and I said, on the podcast, I'm just going to clear out for you. I'm just going to do an ISO. I'm going to let you have this.
Stop wasting the spike.
My one gripe that you didn't get to is the opening play being it was like a curl route from a tight end for 5 yards.
Yeah.
That is also an issue to me because it's if you're going to go middle field, you have to take a shot middle field. Get
the yards that
it has to be a worthwhile play in the middle of the field. If you're not going to force it to the sideline, try to get something in the intermediate or deep part of the middle of the field. The fact that it was a 5-yard dump off to Grant Calcaterra, it's what are we doing here?
Totally agree.
Because that also costs him a lot of time. So, I heard you it was happening in slow motion. You're don't spike it, don't spike it, don't spike it, and they spiked it. Definitely not the best moment. It was a Darius Cooper pass, a pass intended for Darius Cooper.
Yeah, throw behind him. Yeah. Now it looked like maybe they were on the wrong. Miscommunication.
There were a few times today where it seemed like Jalen Hurts just was not on the same page with Darius Cooper, or honestly any of the cast of guys that were out there. It's just they were missing the main guys for sure.
Okay, there you go. That's my big deal. Presented by Cherry Hill Mitsubishi. Stop spiking the ball when you don't need to. Cooler heads need to prevail here. Okay. Okay. Any other takeaways from practice today that we should go through?
I had Jalen Carter down for a few times getting in the backfield. I thought he had a pretty solid practice. No fireworks. Jalen Hunt.
There was a play with Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond on the field together that pre-snap was interesting to you.
Yes. Yeah. I noticed that. So again, we're starting to see some of the Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond experience. I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is still rotating in with those guys, but the one thing that I found interesting today is it was Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond both on the field, and it was Jahad Campbell that took that overhang linebacker spot where he dropped down and made it a 5-man front and left Zach Bond as the lone linebacker, in the middle of the field. I found it interesting because usually it would be Zach Bond filling that job, and it is just illustrative of the flexibility that Vic Fangio has with both of those guys. Because I think in an ideal world, you wouldn't want Zach Bond dropping down to the front that often. He can do it, but one of his best attributes is his range and coverage. If you can still achieve that with Jahad Campbell dropping down, I think Jahad Campbell is very well suited to dropping down as that, pseudo edge rusher, overhang player. Again, I just think it is interesting to see the wheels start turning for that pairing because of the versatility they have. I want to see a 6-man front with those two guys both dropping down. I know that's getting a little weird here, but in dime or something like that.
Fun?
Well, I guess not dime, but can't be dime. But I think that there are some flexibility that they could have with those two. We're starting to see it in practice.
I think it's going to be one of the fun parts of this season is to see what Vic does with those guys on defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how athletic their linebacking core got very quickly.
I agree. We saw a shovel pass today.
We saw a couple
from the 1 yard.
We saw maybe
really?
the worst shovel pass ever, and then followed up pretty quickly by the best. Well, not the best, but a successful.
Did I miss the worst one?
Yeah, you must have. I've got 81.
Or I forgot about it. Terrible memory.
They threw a shovel pass to Saquon Barkley. 26 shovel pass blown up by Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Nice.
The one to Grant was more of a misdirection shovel pass. I thought it was a better design.
Saw a couple plays of Jalen Hunt looking good in coverage.
He also got a sack
field one
against Matt Pryor today during team. Have you noticed that there are like more creative exchanges between Jalen and Saquon this year? Like they have the shovel pass, which made me think of it, but there's been like more like pitches, but not for outside runs. Like it's like a misdirection pitch, or it's a toss that's gonna get vertical right away. There's just more variation in like the exchanges. Yeah, I don't know if it'll last. Maybe they're trying things,
just
but
practicing. Yeah,
yeah. Like there was one. It was a couple weeks ago where Saquon was lined up to Jalen's right, and instead of it being like your conventional like inside zone exchange, Saquon like motions and goes across, and it's just a pitch. It's a shovel pass, probably similar to what they did today. So yeah, no, I don't know. Again, maybe we won't see that during the season, but there definitely has been more variation on some of these run plays to Saquon.
One other thing that I wanted to ask you about, which we talked about on the sideline, is one thing we have seen like over the past couple of weeks is when they go to nickel from their 5-man front, Ojomo is the one who comes off the field, and Jordan Davis stays on the field to be next to Jalen Carter. Do you think that is what they will actually do, or do you think that is just in service of getting Jordan Davis reps?
I feel like I think it's what they'll actually do. I think,
Really?
Yeah, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's not like Moro Ojomo doesn't also need reps. Like, I mean, are you going to try and convince me that he needs like a pitch count this late in camp? Maybe, but it's been a consistent thing. So I think they view Davis and Carter as like the two, and then Ojomo as the changeup guy. Again, do I agree with it? Especially in passing situations? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Ojomo has had a really good camp. He's looked good, not just, as a pass rusher, but against the run as well. But again, and maybe part of it is that like the flexibility it affords them, because, you have Jordan Davis, who theoretically can play different spots. If you wanted to drop Jahad Campbell or Zach Bond down to the edge, you can shift the front and play him as a nose. Like maybe that's part of it, having that versatility out there. But I don't know. I think that Moro Ojomo is just a better. It's crazy to say, but I think he's a better player right now.
I need to see it week 1 to believe it. I still think that Vic Fangio, when it comes to a real game on 3rd and long, is going to want Ojomo out there instead.
3rd and long, absolutely. Yeah. Like, and I get that. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on like, do you view the nickel snaps that they have in camp as like 3rd down situational stuff? I kind of view
not always.
As like,
not always.
I kind of view it as like nickel is their base. Nickel is kind of what they're going to major in. So I think there is going to be a lot of times where Jordan Davis is the second.
I think if I had to guess, I would say that even if they both stay healthy, or assuming they both stay healthy, I think Ojomo plays more snaps than Jordan Davis.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just by the pure function of like, I think Moro Ojomo is in better shape to play more snaps.
Okay. All right. Time for a little break. We'll come back. Any other leftovers from practice, and then we're going to talk some theoretical trades for the Eagles 1 week away from roster cut down. How in the weeds can we get? You will find out. Okay, everybody, listen to me. Money, kind of important, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So you got to protect your money. And one of the best ways to do that is with Monarch Money. Finances can be messy and confusing. Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. It's more than your average budgeting app. Monarch Money is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and goals. Don't just manage your money. Start building wealth with 50% off your first year for our listeners. With all of your accounts, credit cards, and investments in one place, you will always know where your money stands without the hassle. You can track your spending, savings, and investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters most, making your biggest life goals a reality. Monarch Money is the finance tool people actually love. That's why it was named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. It is the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 5-star reviews. And we don't want to get too serious here, but this is the truth. Financial stress is one of the top reasons that relationships fall apart. Monarch Money makes money conversations easier. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That is 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
Next, we're going to talk about Cherry Hill Mitsubishi. Here's a fact that shocked me. Mitsubishi Motors is #1 in customer satisfaction with dealer services among mainstream brands and SUV owners. That's not me saying it either. That's JD Power. If you're looking for the most affordable 7-passenger SUV in America, CherryHillMitsubishi.com has you covered with the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. Take advantage of their 0% for 60-month APR financing for PA residents only. Or take home the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage with payments starting at $55 a week with $0 down retail. Offer not valid with trade-in. Offer subject to credit approval by third party. Not all applicants may qualify. Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business. 10 years, 100,000 mile powertrain, and 5 years, 60,000 mile bumper to bumper. Why settle for a lesser warranty and be on the hook for costly repairs down the road? Stop in today, tell them PHLY sent you, and receive a $100 restaurant.com gift card just for taking a test drive or completing a trade appraisal. I know people buy Mitsubishis elsewhere. I just don't know why. Drive home in your new Mitsubishi today, just minutes from all bridges or available online 24/7 at cherryhillmitsubishi.com.
All right, EJ. Any other takeaways from practice today, or are we done with that?
I will say no for 2 reasons. One, because there's not a lot that I can remember from my notebook that I feel was worthy of the show.
Okay.
And secondly, because I am excited to get through as many of these trades as we can get through.
Okay. We said we were going to go through trades yesterday, so let's do it. I think maybe we'll go through all of my AFC trades today,
And then
I'll save the NFC for tomorrow.
Okay,
How
I like
about
that.
But let's start with you. What was which one are you most excited about?
I'm going to go, well, which one?
I mean, some of mine are like real low level.
Let's go like the broad ones. Like, let's go with the ones that like, your average.
Headline grabbers?
Yeah, exactly. Like the old newsman habits die hard. Let's go with some of the ones that, people are talking about. So I have Trey Hendrickson.
All right, I got a Trey Hendrickson trade.
On the pseudo trade block. I think they're willing, the Bengals are willing
clearly
to
on the
listen to
block.
offers here. Listen, you might crush me for some of these compensations. I'm trying to figure out a good middle ground here. So, do you think the Bengals would take a 2nd-round pick and Sidney Brown for Trey Hendrickson?
EJ, we did not talk about this. I have Trey Hendrickson and a 4 for Sidney Brown in a second. So
I was not
that's the only difference
Yeah.
is I have the Bengals having to throw in a 4th.
So I thought that this would be like a little rich for the Eagles. So I think the 4 does a good job of balancing it, but I don't think the Bengals would do that. I think that you have the Brown brothers.
The Brown brothers.
I mean, it's a great
huge.
story.
Yeah, it's great.
I think that stylistically he might be a little bit of a better fit with the Bengals. And yeah,
I agree.
like the reports you hear, like they want a young player and an early draft pick. I think if they want a 1st-round pick and a young player, 2nd-round pick and Sidney Brown, pretty close to that valuation. And I don't know how you feel
That's
about
so funny.
the Trey Hendrickson experience, but like he had 17.5 sacks last year. And him and Nolan Smith as your 2 primary edge rushers, that's a nightmare. Like that is maybe not like a nightmare game plan against.
Those guys are getting beat up.
Yeah, exactly. That is just like a physicality, effort, energy nightmare for
that is the one where you're tracking the tackles who play the Eagles have given up this many sacks the next week.
Yes, exactly.
Season,
yeah,
right?
it's just
No,
it's perfect. I think that they would be an interesting pairing.
Now the cash, we're not really factoring in. Like I don't know if the Eagles could fit that contract in right now.
Yeah.
But just from a
and then like you have the long-term implications of like, do you want to pay a 30 plus?
Well, I think that's why it's only a 2nd, because you're probably not going to pay him. You're telling
Yeah.
him he's going to go into the market.
Yeah. And honestly, for Trey Hendrickson, you probably are okay with that. Obviously, you want a new deal, but like a prove-it season with the Eagles,
Right.
Not a terrible situation to be in.
Right. And then from the Eagles' perspective, theoretically, you get the comp pick 2 years down the line.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's one of my like listening to this podcast over years. Like the comp pick mention is like a very strong PHLY Eagle show like bingo card item.
Thank you very much.
In a good way. Like, it's a good thing to remember. It's a good point.
Do you want me to give you a more headliners?
No, give me a goofy one. Let's
Name a team in the AFC.
Oh, I know which one I'm gonna name because I saw it already. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Listen, Eagles need some offensive line help. We've been talking about it. They make a trade to get Fred Johnson back in the building, EJ. And what they give up,
Big Fred,
is Matt Pryor and Eli Ricks.
Oh, I didn't see Pryor was in there too. Okay, all right. I don't think the Jaguars do this. Like,
I mean, he's not supposed to start for them.
Yeah, but like they've signed him because he's a valuable swing tackle. Like he is exactly what they expected him to be.
You know, now they get Eli Ricks too.
I like the trade. The Eagles would do it. I think the Eagles would absolutely do it. I mean, it's basically upgrading your swing tackle position for a guy who probably won't make the roster. Is he getting paid that much?
I think he's getting paid more than the Eagles wanted to pay him.
Yeah, but this Mukuba, right?
What is it? $5 million?
Let's see. He is his cap number is 1.2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Pryor and Ricks. Do this trade. Pryor or Ricks?
Pryor and Ricks.
I would do both. Yeah, I think that's fair. What if it was like, we don't want your waiver fodder. We just want a 7 or a 6.
Yeah, I think they would do that too.
5? What about a 5?
No.
I think a 6 is the right number. I don't think the Jags would do it, but I like the idea.
Okay. But they need the player too. Okay, give me another one.
Let's stay with the Jags. I think a fun long shot Jahan Dotson-y trade would be for Trayvon Walker. I don't think it would happen.
Yeah.
But I think if it's exactly the type of trade that the Eagles would want to make if he were available. Draft pedigree, obviously. He's like a player that has been solid, but like there's always been that there's always been that idea that he could be better than he has been. You know, he had double-digit sacks each of the last 2 seasons, but not quite one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. I think, again, it's that Jahan Dotson mold where it's like draft a guy who is coming up on the end of their rookie contract, playing for that second deal, and see if he can take that next step in a different situation.
Plus, you know, Howie's going to love all Georgia guys together. Like, you know, he's going to love that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's another SEC guy. It's a good point. I don't know what they would want. I don't know if they would trade him at all. I mean, it's probably a 1, right?
You can't give up a 1.
So you think it's a 2? If you're
I think it's probably just tough to make that deal.
Yeah, I just don't think the trade would happen. Yeah. But if he were available, I think the Eagles would make a lot of sense for him.
Okay. Give me another team.
I'm trying to think of like a goofy AFC team that would be fun for you here. Give me the Colts. Call up Shane Steichen.
Okay, the Colts. Now, for this one, before I get to the Colts, I will do the Raiders. Okay, because the Raiders are trading for Tanner McKee.
Oh, interesting.
And they are sending Michael Mayer, the tight end.
This isn't moving me so far.
And a conditional second that can turn into a first.
I don't like that deal.
If McKee plays 75% of the snaps and the Raiders make the playoffs, it turns into a first-round pick. Otherwise, it's a second-round pick. So the Eagles get a little tight end that is something that they can hang on, but they get a second, and they're getting they're just cashing in on Tanner McKee. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like the Eagles say no. I feel like Michael Mayer is like your second tight end over Grant Calcaterra. It's an upgrade, maybe theoretical, but
right.
And I don't know. I would be worried about the conditions of that pick, just a little bit.
Okay.
And I wouldn't want to trade Tanner McKee before the season. Now,
nor would I.
If you told me, okay, is that why you preface it?
So now with the Colts, the Eagles are trading a 3rd-round pick for Anthony Richardson and a 4th.
Okay. Yeah. I knew you were going to talk me into it somehow. Because I'm like, okay, so who's the Eagles' backup quarterback? Anthony Richardson is the backup quarterback. No, I'm not going for
that's
this.
Fair Eagles. That's fair Eagles. This is like the art collection. You know, give me a little bit of Anthony Richardson.
You can't sit here and be like, oh, EJ, you love DTR and you were so wrong about him. And then talk me into Anthony Richardson as like the reclamation project. You don't want a reclamation project as your second string quarterback.
Probably not. Yeah.
Like he would be a fun 3rd quarterback, but that's not going to happen. So it's fun though. I like the wackiness of it all.
Moving and shaking.
All right, I'm gonna give you another. I've got 2 more, like headliner guys, and then I also have a couple of goofy ones that I like.
Okay.
Should I go with the headliners here? Still?
Let's hear the headliner.
Okay. What about Arnold Ebiketie from the Falcons?
That's your headliner?
he kind of straddles that
Okay.
space. I mean, he's an interesting player.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know. I didn't think it was like as exciting as the other two.
Okay. And what's the compensation here?
I could not tell you.
Oh, you're just throwing names out.
He's a 1-year rental. It's probably a mid-round pick, like a 4th or a 5th. The other one's Denzel Ward. I'll be honest, it just doesn't do much for me. Like, I don't think the Browns want to trade him.
Okay.
And I think the Eagles kind of already made their trade at corner.
I think that's probably right.
It's like we talked about it on yesterday's show, where it's like you don't want to make a trade that pushes Quinyon Mitchell from being the undisputed first cornerback. Like you want him to be the star.
So that be the star.
But like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You want him to be the number one guy. Mm-hmm. He's earned that. So it's like you kind of have a ceiling here that's Quinyon Mitchell and above, right? And then like you also don't want to make a trade for another Jacorian Bennett. So like it's a very narrow window that you could fit a player in. And then you have to ask yourself, do you want to trade for a cornerback that you have to pay when you have those guys coming up?
Right.
So again, for that reason, the Denzel Ward stuff, I mean, like if it was a mid-round pick and you're just talking yourself into like, this is a championship window and we want to shore up that position, maybe, but it didn't really move me.
All right, I'll give you my 4 AFC cornerback trades.
Okay.
Since we're talking corners. Buffalo. This is the low level we're talking about. Dane Jackson, an experienced like 4th corner who indications are is right on that roster bubble. Eagles trade Kendall Lamb for Dane Jackson.
It's not doing much for me. I mean, the Bills.
This is basically like if you are going to release Adoree Jackson.
Yeah.
And you're gonna just you want to have another veteran there.
I've got one for you here, but I want to see if you have it too.
Miami.
Okay.
Their 2nd round pick from a couple years ago, right on the roster bubble. Cam Smith, the cornerback, has had a disappointing career. Eagles love picking up those former 2nd round picks. They're sending a 6th round pick to the Dolphins for Cam Smith.
That one intrigues me. I like that one. It makes a lot of sense. Feels Eaglesy.
Here's the big one. Tennessee Titans. L'Jarius Sneed.
How did he? I mean, I'm showing my ignorance here. Did he not have a great year last year?
I think he was fine.
Okay.
But that was a different regime.
I can hear
L'Jarius Sneed.
I can hear like Howie Roseman being like, "This is a guy that played at a really high level for a Super Bowl team."
1 year with him is fantastic. L'Jarius Sneed for Keeler and a 4th round pick.
I would do that if I were the Eagles.
Okay.
I think he is exactly in that window that we are describing. He is basically a Darius Slay replacement.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then my other one is also a Keely Ringo trade. They're sending him to Denver, and they are turning the full secondary, the pigment that they want. Riley Moss from the Denver Broncos, straight up for Keely Ringo. And they've got the whitest secondary in post-merger.
It's a secondary the Phillies can be proud of.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not moved by that one.
That's too much. That's too far.
All right, I've got one for you that's secondary related. This is a little bit of a goofy one. What about Beanie Bishop from the Steelers? A roster bubble player. You can play him at nickel.
I don't even know who that is.
He was like the nickel that had like 2 pick sixes last season for the Steelers.
Okay.
You don't even know who he is.
Bishop? No,
yeah, Beanie Bishop. I feel like if you can get like a tough slot guy, you fill that gap, and then maybe it's Cooper DeJean on the outside. Probably that. Probably fixes your cornerback room in that way. I don't love it, but I liked the Beanie Bishop last year. I thought he was an interesting player.
Okay.
You don't even know who the guy is.
I'm still not convinced you're not making this person up.
Oh, come on. He like had a primetime pick 6. It was like he became a story. He had 4 interceptions last year.
No, it doesn't exist. It says right here, it doesn't exist.
That's what you get for trusting AI.
That's right. All right. I have more trades to tell you about, and we will get to all of them in overtime. Now we got Ethan running the show today. Julia's training him up, and she said, "Listen, the overtime graphic, you got to get it. It's not in this folder. It's in this folder over here." And it worked out. We got it.
It's great.
Okay.
Wait, we have to start overtime with the softball stuff. I literally did not ask about it earlier because I wanted to save it for the pods.
We lost. We lost last night. We didn't hit enough defensive game, we were up 3-0. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th, and then they scored 2 again in the bottom of the 7th. We just our top 4. We need to score runs, and we didn't hit last night. The top of our order, we only got up twice, but we scored 1 run with those top 4. It's not good enough. Accountability starts with me. I did not hit well enough last night. So, everybody on the team feels it. Everybody thinks they're the one who was responsible for the loss. We appreciate that, but as far as I'm concerned, I got to do a better job.
Sounds like you're dragging yourself through the mud, as Nick Sirianni would say.
I think everybody is, and I really don't like. This guy was out at second base, and he was out, and he's being all huffy about it, like, "Oh, she tagged me up here, but that you were looking up here, not where my foot was." Yeah, you don't run like this. You were out. Have a little bit of honor. That's all I'm saying. Stop taking so many walks. We're here to swing the bat.
I'm glad you got that off your chest. You think he's a listener?
I don't know.
Well, then maybe we just lost a listener.
I hope so. And so then it's the end of the game. There's 1 out, 1st and 3rd. Their cleanup hitter is up, the same guy, and we're like, we got to walk him. Of course, we got to walk him. We need to set up a possibility for a double play at second base.
Sure. This guy doesn't sound.
And he's all huffy about getting walked. All huffy with his batting glove. He's got to take his batting glove off. The only guy in the league who wears a batting glove.
Well, he's a cleanup hitter. He's doing something.
Give me a break. He was out. He was out at second base. It's on me. I got to hit better.
Got to do better. Drag myself through the mud.
Bad job by me.
You got to flush it.
Okay.
That's what Jalen Hurts would tell you. Flush it.
Yeah, got to flush it. Yeah, but that's also like 9 months now. We got to wait for it to get back on the field. Ugh. Not good enough. Here's my Steelers trade for you.
Okay.
Eagles are getting Darnell Washington.
Ooh, I like Darnell Washington.
Of course you do. He's like way down their depth chart. Eagles need a tight end on a rookie contract.
I like this one.
They're sending Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in a 6th-round pick.
Oh, I'm in. I'm so in. Darnell Washington would like give them like a different play personality. It would like give them like a style that they could lean on. Like you could see that like 4-minute offense with Darnell Washington as that 6th offensive lineman, just like crushing guys. Oh, I'm in on that one. I like that one a lot.
Okay. Like that?
I think that's your best one.
Then you're not going to like this other tight end trade with the New York Jets. Jeremy Ruckert. The Eagles are trading for Jeremy Ruckert, and they're sending Tristan McCollum to the Jets.
It doesn't do as much for me.
How about
like loves being a Jet, doesn't he? Wasn't that his whole thing that he was like really excited to be a part of the Jets organization?
Who?
Jeremy Ruckert. Yeah,
yeah, but he's fallen out of favor. They drafted Mason Taylor.
Things change. Yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens. David Ojabo on the roster bubble.
Look at my screen.
David Ojabo. There you go. Eagles are sending A.J. Dillon in a 6th-round pick.
Okay. I figured like a day 3 pick would be enough to get him. Yeah, he's on the roster. That would be like a roster bubble guy for a roster bubble guy.
Yeah.
I like that. He's draft pedigree. Not to keep saying this, but I liked him coming out of college. Like he thought he was an interesting player. He has not done very much in his career, but yeah, take a flyer on a guy like that. I'm in.
I got a safety trade for you.
No.
The Eagles are sending Sidney Brown to the New England Patriots for Marcus Epps and a 6th-round pick.
Oh, bring Marcus Epps back.
Bring Marcus Epps back.
I'm not
I feel
sure.
like Sidney Brown's kind of like a Mike Vrabel kind of guy.
Oh yeah, Mike Vrabel would love Sidney.
And you get a little bit of a draft compensation for it if you've decided that Vicks is not a Sidney Brown guy.
I just feel like Marcus Epps played his best season for the Eagles already.
For sure.
But I guess you could talk me into it as like he is more sure, like a more surefire backup if you're going to Andrew
Mukuba. Cleveland Browns. We got an edge for a defensive tackle. Eagles are getting Joe Tryon-Shoyinka for Byron Young.
Yeah, that's just you just like that guy.
I do.
You just wanted to make that move.
They do need edge. I think they could trade for an edge guy.
I think that makes sense. Did Byron Young? But they should trade Azeez Ojulari since he had like his 2 best practices of the summer when they were there.
That's a very good point. This one is we should clip this, okay? Because this is what's really gonna get the people to come to the show. The Los Angeles Chargers, who have lost what's his face for the year, they're trading Kendall Lamb. The Eagles are trading Kendall Lamb to the Chargers. Kendall Lamb in a 6th for a 5th. Clip it. Viral. Here we come. Kendall Lamb in a 6th for a 5th.
This is really what this exercise is about. It's like, if they make any of these trades, we're going to seem like geniuses.
Yeah, I got 31 shots here to maybe have sort of come close to calling a trade.
It was funny. Like, I walked in and you're just like feverishly writing on a notepad. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm coming up with 32 trades for 32 teams.
2 left in the AFC. Houston Texans. This one's going to knock your socks off.
Another Texans trade.
Cornerback Tremont Smith, who the Eagles once brought in for a pre-draft visit a couple years ago. They're sending Cameron Williams to the Texans.
Cameron Williams? No, that's a veto on everybody's part. Why would anybody want to trade for Cameron Williams?
Well, I don't think Tremont Smith's going to make their team.
Yeah,
I mean, this is...
That would be like a fun, like, oh, Howie Roseman and Nick Caserio, they love doing deals together.
Why not?
I'm out on the Cameron Williams.
All right, last one. Kansas City Chiefs. Eagles are sending Kenyon Green and a 5th-round pick to the Chiefs for Kingsley Suamataia.
Oh, I like him too.
Former 2nd-round pick who lost his job, is no longer starting for them. Get him into Stout U.
It's a little rich for that guy, I think. I'm not going to try the last name I haven't.
You think so?
Yeah, I just...
Former 2nd-round pick?
Like, Kenyon Green is another, like, he's not making the roster guy. So
well, sure, but...
And I don't know. Eagles-Chiefs trade? You think it would happen?
Sure, those guys love each other.
Maybe. I do think, like, some of these, while I am, like, laughing at them, like, this is a quote, this is something that was maybe brought up by my predecessor here on Twitter.
Predecessor, huh?
I mean, I know you're going to get mad at me if I say his name, so...
No, but not predecessor.
Oh, of course he doesn't care about that. Is it predecessor?
That's how I would say it.
Oh,
that doesn't make it right or wrong.
Is predecessor? We need to ask the chat. Is predecessor wrong?
I don't think it's wrong.
I just mispronouncing a word on the podcast?
It definitely hits my ear in a way that was not what I was expecting.
Well,
predecessor. Yeah.
Mentioned on social media. I can't take the point without giving him credit because, like, he made the point.
Where was this? Truth Social?
It was not Truth Social. Okay. That the Eagles are last in the waiver wire order. So, like, because of that, if there is a your cut player for my cut player, it might make more sense to make that type of trade.
That's true.
To circumvent the waiver wire order. Because, you know, usually I would say, like, well, why would anyone trade for, like, somebody like Cameron Williams when they're just going to cut him? The Eagles might trade for somebody else's version of Cameron Williams because of the fact that if they hit
like their Albert O trade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just trying to make sure that they get a guy that they maybe have an eye on.
Flynn Patterson says both pronunciations are technically correct.
Thank you, Flynn. I appreciate the support in this trying time.
Okay. Man. Has there been any reaction on social media yet to the Tremont Smith trade? We got that out there yet?
We got bad news for you.
Oh, hold on. My phone's blowing up. It's Caserio. He says, great idea.
On the phone now. Yeah. Just texted Howie.
They're going to swap those picks again.
They should just keep doing that for the bit.
Just keep doing that. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. NFC tomorrow?
AFC. NFC.
NFC
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, there may or may not be a former Bo Wulf Camp crush on here. Just saying. It's up to you to figure out who that is. Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so. Hopefully tomorrow I can get here without any wrong turns, without the directions.
I believe in you. Do you have any like last practice of camp routines or things like that?
If I can get Ritas tomorrow, I'd be happy to get Ritas. They've been quick with the Ritas. They have a quick hook. And listen, I understand. People got places to be. They got maybe they're going home.
I know that's right.
But I would like to get a Ritas.
I usually try to save I do one Ritas, and it's the last practice. That's usually what I do. Gotta tell you though, been having some good Johns this summer. I don't need Ritas.
That's fair.
No offense to Ritas.
No offense to Ritas. I mean,
please, if you a sponsor, I want to love it.
Yeah,
but
it's fair.
Johns has been hitting me really well this summer. Kids love it. This is the first time I ever did the gelati.
Yeah, gelati's strong. I enjoy
Gelati's
it.
good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to mix so well. It's fantastic.
No, the mixing is what you need. Like, I don't know if people like try not to mix it, but
right.
Like,
it's really good.
It's definitely strong. But honestly, if we don't get it tomorrow, I might just like go get actual ice cream. Cause
nice.
I mean, actual ice cream, especially if you're
soft or hard. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I like a hard ice cream served soft. The listeners probably don't know this.
What does that mean?
Okay, I'll tell you. This is a good overtime story for you.
Okay.
My wife and I met at an ice cream shop where we both worked. We were both 14 or 15. We started working there.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, right. And
I mean, that is every 15-year-old's dream.
Is like meeting your wife at an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would make like a fun like book or movie like at some point. I mean, it would have to be dramatized, but because it wasn't that exciting. I mean,
how dare you, Julia?
Well, it's like not like there was like no twists or turns.
Julia.
It was just like we liked each other and we we got married. Anyway,
at
so
15?
That at 15, not quite at 15. I did get married young. I was 24. Engaged at 21.
Wow.
Yeah. When you know, you know.
How'd you propose?
I proposed in Seattle. Is this just like you seeing if you can get me to explain it? Like, just like divulge something about my personal life?
No, I'm curious.
I proposed in Seattle at Seward Park on the water. It was nice. I had a Seattle Times photographer hiding in the bushes.
Nice.
Yeah. I see those pictures literally every day. Walk past them every day. So we worked at an ice cream shop, which was hard ice cream. It was custard, but it's served fresh out of the machine. And that is the best way you can have ice cream because it's like you get like the richness of a hard ice cream, but the downside is usually like a hard ice cream
sitting there.
Yeah, it's just like rock solid. If you get it fresh out the machine, it's the best you can do.
Interesting. Do you guys know about this? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hard ice cream served soft?
Yeah, never heard that.
That's it's like burned into my brain because everybody goes like, "Is it soft serve?" And you're like, "No, it's hard ice cream served soft."
Okay. A couple super chats. Josh Tolentino.
Oh, shout out to Josh.
Belated congrats to EJ. Continue crushing it, my friend.
Oh, Josh, too kind. Miss Josh.
What a good guy. And congrats to Josh.
Yeah, congrats to Josh. I was about to say, I wish the Eagles and Ravens played.
Yeah. Yeah, no preseason game this year. That's too bad.
I like a trip to M&T Bank Stadium. Oh, I have an M&T Bank Stadium story for you. The podcast is just going off the rails. Okay, on the way back from the Commanders game last year, I believe, because it was last year. Every year, like the food at the stadium at what is it, Northeast Stadium now or Northwest Stadium, whatever it's called,
the Josh Harris,
dump. Yeah,
Hell Dome.
The food is so bad there that usually I pack a lunch.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, and then on the way home, I will try to figure out a good place to go to get dinner.
Sure,
there's not a lot of options.
Yeah.
So last year, I'm like, I don't care how far out of the way it takes me. I'm gonna go somewhere good, and I was in the mood for Shake Shack, so I put in Shake Shack. And I put it in like,
oh no,
yeah, you already know where it's going. Okay, so I put it in Google Maps. I'm driving. I'm like, oh, there's a Shake Shack like 40 minutes up the road. It's perfect. I drive to the Shake Shack, only to learn that the Shake Shack is in M&T Bank Stadium. The Ravens weren't even playing, so it wasn't even like, oh, you could buy a standing room only ticket. I wouldn't have done that, but you
would have considered that.
I mean, if it was like $12 or something, I would have been like, my God, whatever. I'm already outrageous. Here. And fortunately for me, there was a Shake Shack like 20 minutes further down the road. Yeah. And at that point, you're like pot committed. It's like, I'm going to Shake Shack. But no, I feel like it was Google Maps. I feel like they need to do a better job of specifying, like, yes, it is a Sunday in the fall, but the Shake Shack is in a stadium and you probably shouldn't go there.
My closest one to that is there's the McDonald's on Columbus Boulevard. And we were like, I think we were doing like Target shopping or something, and the kids were very hungry. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna for like the first time ever, I'm gonna use the McDonald's app because that McDonald's takes forever.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use the McDonald's app, put it in, get there. They're like, we don't have anything for this. No, because there's also a McDonald's in the Walmart at that same plaza. And so that's where the food was.
How far away were they? Like the two.
I mean, they are. I could throw a football from one to the other.
No, flex. Speak for yourself.
It'd be a Nerf ball. Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we need better descriptions for where these places are.
We just need either to not use technology at all, or
get smarter.
Not have the bad technology so ubiquitous. Other super chat from CDP. Can Daniel Jones turn into training camp week 1 DTR?
No, nobody could ever reach such heights. No, never.
DTR to the Colts for 1.
I would do that trade.
I know you would. All right, that'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. We're back tomorrow. Last practice of camp, and then the preseason finale on Friday. We've got the roster cut down a week from today. All that good stuff. Thank you to Ethan for making it happen today. Cliff, we love you.
Shout out, Cliff.
That's all we got. We'll see you tomorrow. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Talk to you tomorrow, and as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.